हे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So this morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, canto number 7, chapter number 15, text number 57. आदौ अन्ते जनानां सद् बाहिर अन्तःपरावरम् ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं वचो वाच्यं तमो ज्योतिस्त्वयं स्वयं। Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: He who exists internally and externally at the beginning and end of everything and of all living beings, as that which is enjoyable, as that which is enjoyable, and as the enjoyer of everything, superior and inferior, is the supreme truth. He always exists as knowledge and the object of knowledge, as expression and the object of understanding, as darkness and as light. Thus, He, the Supreme Lord, is everything. Here, the Vedic aphorism Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma is explained. It is also explained in the Chatushloki Bhagavatam Aham Eva Sam Evagre. The Supreme Lord existed in the beginning. He existed after the creation and maintains everything. And after destruction, everything merges in him, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Prakritim yanti mamikam. Thus, the Supreme Lord is actually everything. In the conditioned state, we are bewildered in our understanding. But in the perfect stage of liberation, we can understand that Krishna is the cause of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1. This is the perfection of knowledge. Hare Krishna. So, we are discussing this section of the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are almost about to conclude the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and almost the ending section is going on, as we saw in the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is titled as Utaya. Utaya means impressions which give rise to inclinations. Our samskaras, which gives rise to various kinds of swabhavas. So we have example of the divine, and we also have the example of the demoniac. In the example of divine, we see the pure devotee of the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj, so beautifully described in so many chapters of the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And when it comes to about demoniac, then we see about the demoniac quality, the nature of Hiranyakashipu. That also we learned in the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Then someone may say that I am not as divine as Prahlad Maharaj, neither I am as demoniac as Hiranyakashipu. I fall somewhere in between. Like Guru Maharaj always explains that there is this good dog and there is this bad dog that resides within all of us. All of us, we have this both dogs within us. Which dog will become stronger depends upon whichever we feed more. If we feed the good dog will become powerful. If we feed the bad dog will become powerful. So, in the same way, someone may say that I am neither as bad as Hiranyakashipu and I am neither as divine as Prahlad Maharaj. I fall somewhere in between. So, therefore, the last five chapters of the seventh canto, beginning from 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, this is like kind of Varnashram section wherein someone who falls in between, for them, all these instructions of people based on various Varna and various ashrama. Varna is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And the various ashramas are Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanprastha, and Sannyas. Like that. So here we see in this section from the 57th verse onwards till the 68th verse, 57 to 68. Yeah, so this section of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explaining that the summary of occupational duties, that is what is explained in this section of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So about having spoken about the occupational duties of all the four Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. What is the duty, job description of a Brahmana? What is the job description of a Kshatriya? what is the job description of a Vaishya, and what is the job description of a Shudra. So here again a summary of all the occupational duties is explained. So this verse onwards till the 68th verse. So here in today's verse it is explained that Adau Ante Jananam Sad, how he always exists in the beginning and in the ending of everything and all living entities. How the Supreme Lord, he always exists in the beginning and in the ending of everything and all living entities. Adau Ante Jananam Sad. Bahir Anta Parabaram. So the second line of today's verse explains the Supreme Lord exists internally and externally as superior and inferior objects. Like in the Narsing Arti which we chant, Ito Narsimha, Parato Narsimha, Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha. How the Supreme Lord, Bahir Anta Parabaram. How the Supreme Lord exists internally and externally. Jnanam Geyam Vacho Vachyam. How the Supreme Lord, as the knowledge of the senses, he exists, as the knowable, as expression of words, the object of understanding. Tamo Jyotistu Ayam Swayam. As darkness and light, he is personally everything. So, how this verse is speaking, as Prabhupada explains in the purport, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, which means ultimately Sarvam, everything is nothing but the Supreme Lord is pervading everywhere. How the Supreme Lord exists before the creation, as Prabhupada is quoting from the Chatushloki, Aham Evasam Evagre. This is in the second canto of the Srimad Bhagvatam, the ninth or the 10th chapter it comes, which is known as the Chatushloki Srimad Bhagavatam. If Srimad Bhagavatam has to be spoken in 4 verses, then the Acharyas explain these are the 4 verses. So that the verse begins from Aham Evasam Evagre. I existed before the creation. Aham Evasam Evagre. Nanyat Sat Asat Param. Paschamahat Sadevasa So Vashishyesa So Asmi Aham. How the Supreme Lord is explaining that I existed before the creation, I am existing during the creation, and I am existing after everything becomes annihilated. So therefore, Prabhupada is quoting from Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. How Supreme Lord Krishna, he is Ishvara. There are many controllers. Ishvara means the controller. But amongst all the controllers, the topmost controller is Ishvara Parama Krishna. And his body is made up of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Body made of eternity. His body consists of full knowledge, and his body consists of bliss. Satchid Ananda Vigraha. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. How the Supreme Lord is from the beginning of everything. He is the cause of all causes. So when one understands this point, that is the perfection of all knowledge. In this world, many people want to become very much knowledgeable. Therefore, different departments of education are there: physics, chemistry, biology, medicine, engineering, arts, science, commerce. So many various departments of knowledge are there. But then Prabhupada used to explain MSC. Anyone who comes to know what is matter, what is spirit, and who is the controller of both matter and spirit. Actually, he knows everything. Yasmin Vigyate Sarvam Evam Vigyatu Bhavati. Anyone who knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows everything. Hmm? So, therefore, the Guru is known as the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hmm? So, therefore, one time someone came to Srila Prabhupada and he asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, we have heard that Guru knows everything. Prabhupada said, yes. So, this person came and asked, can you tell me how many windows are there in this Empire State Building in New York? So, Prabhupada said that when it is said that Guru knows everything, which means that Guru knows everything about the Supreme Lord and whatever is needed for us to perfect our lives, those things he may know. You cannot ask him foolish questions that how many doors and how many windows are there in this Empire State Building. No, that is not needed. So we may want to know about so many things, but that is not needed. Ultimate purpose of who am I, who is God, what is our relationship with the Supreme Lord, and how can I connect with the Supreme Lord. If that knowledge is there, then that is sufficient. One need not know about so many details because ultimately, all the purpose of all knowledge is to know from whom everything comes from. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavam mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So it is said that after millions and millions and millions of births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Gyanavam, one who is knowledgeable, Mam Prapadyate, he surrenders unto me. Vasudevam Sarvam Iti, knowing that Supreme Lord Vasudev is the be all and the end all of this creation. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. So, therefore, it is very rare to have someone who, with total faith and conviction, knows ultimately whatever exists in this material world is nothing but it's all Krishna's different energies. They are coming into play. Hmm? As Bhagavad Gita also explains, Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhireva cha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakritirashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All these eight elements constitute my inferior separated energy, O Arjuna. So, Bhumir, Apo, Nalo, Vayu comes. So, these eight energies and everything we see in this world, so many things, all its permutation and combination of all these eight elements earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. Then Krishna tells that aparayam itastu anyam prakriti vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho ye idam daryate jagat. He says, but there is another supreme energy of mind. Beyond these eight inferior things, there is another superior energy. And all the living entities, they belong to the higher superior energy of mind. But what they are trying to do, ye idam dharyate jagat. But the superior energy, they are trying to exploit or they are trying to control this inferior living entities. So, therefore, when one understands that ultimately Krishna is the creator, Krishna is the maintainer, Krishna is the annihilator. If I just know this with full conviction and I engage in worshipping Him, then that is the highest perfection which a human being can know. If one is connected to the greatest person, then we become great. Just like in that one story I heard, in that a king, a very rich person, he announced one day that I am ready to give anything on this particular day because today is my birthday. Everyone can come and ask for anything. So many different people came, and someone came and asked few $1,000 from the king. The king gave. Somebody came and asked a big mansion. The king gave. Somebody asked for a car. He gave the car. Somebody came and asked for some piece of land. The king gave the land. So everyone came and asked. Finally, an old woman came. The king asked, my dear lady, what do you want? So the lady said, I want you to be my son. You accept me as your mother, and I want you to accept you as the son. That's it? Yes, that's it. Nothing else. So many people were thinking, oh, this is a foolish lady. What is she asking? Huh? She didn't ask anything tangible. She only asked for a relationship. But then, in due course of time, whenever the king used to go to meet the mother, how could that his mother stay in a poor place? So automatically, the lady's house became as big as the king. Then the road to reach her house, that was also fantastic. Whatever she needed, just by her this one statement, different people came and asked the king for different things, and they got and they left. They were not very intelligent. But this lady, she was the most intelligent. She asked for just one thing, that is relationship with the king as the mother. And in turn, everything else which cannot even be thought, everything was given to the lady. So actually she turned out to be the most intelligent lady. So in the same way, we are all sons and daughters of the Supreme Lord. He is the owner of everything. He is the controller, proprietor, enjoyer. He is the creator, maintainer, annihilator. So many verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking about how powerful is Lord Krishna. Therefore, from the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam till the ninth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about the greatness of the Lord, how great Krishna is, how powerful he is. And then the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about the sweet aspects of the Lord. So anyone who hears or reads systematically from the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, how the Supreme Lord expands. Krishna does not involve himself in the process of creation. Krishna is always busy performing wonderful, sweet pastimes with his loving associates in Goloka Vrindavan. But his office also has to function. This material world has to function. Therefore, Krishna expands as Vishnu and he takes charge of this material world. And so many different universes are being created. We can't even imagine if we read about the details of this one universe. It is very difficult to understand. The fifth canto speaks about the cosmology, wherein the smallest universe in which we are now residing, the smallest of all the universes, that small universe for us to comprehend, the fifth canto, the 14 planetary systems, it is flabbergasting. It will be totally like we can't even imagine. What to speak of the millions and millions and millions of universes that is emanating from the skin pores of Mahavishnu or Karno Dakshai Vishnu. Hmm? Which means it is explained that this one universe is like a mustard seed in a sack, a 50 kg sack of mustard seed. This one universe is one mustard seed. So, can we imagine if this one universe is one mustard seed, how many mustard seeds can exist in a 50 kilogram sack of mustard seed? In a handful of mustard seed, we can't even count. Forget about counting 50 kilo of mustard seed. Huge. Hmm? So, this is the smallest universe. So, just we get a little glimpse of how great is the Supreme Lord, who is not only creating this one small universe, which is difficult for all of us to comprehend, but unlimited such universes are there. And in every universe, the demigods are there. He has created a system of universal management in all of the universe. This universe is the smallest of all the universes because there are only four directions: east, west, north, and south. So, in order to manage that, Krishna has appointed Brahmaji. He has given four heads to Brahmaji to manage the four directions of the universe. But there are some universes which with eight directions. So there is Brahmaji with eight heads to manage eight directions. In the same way, there is universes which with 12 directions. There are some universes with 100. And Chaitanya Charitamrit goes on to speak when Lord Chaitanya is speaking to Sanatan Goswami. My dear Sanatan Goswami, there are universes with lakhs and crores of directions. And there are Brahmajis with lakhs and crores of heads to manage those universes. My God, can we imagine this universe with the smallest four direction universe? Very difficult for us to comprehend. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us through Sanatan Goswami that there are universes with crores of directions and Brahmaji with crores of heads to manage that. How are we to understand? Even Brahmaji was totally bewildered when he tried to understand the Supreme Lord in the 10th canto. Therefore, the entire Brahma Vimohan Leela took place. And Brahmaji prays, my dear Lord, with my four heads comprising of pure intelligence, I try to understand you. The 7-year-old Krishna in Vrindavan, who is playing like a ordinary coward boy. And I try to test you, my dear Lord, but please forgive me. I try to play with the fire. I try to put my hands in fire. So Indra failed in trying to understand the Supreme Lord. Brahmaji failed in trying to understand the Supreme Lord. Who are we in comparison to Indra and Brahma? When we try to understand the Supreme Lord, or when we try to understand this huge creation, the smallest of all, this universe. So, therefore, our fortune is that we don't want to know about the Supreme Lord. We can't even know, and we also don't want to know. to give this analogy of how one Dr. Frog, he landed in a well from the Pacific Ocean, and all the different frogs came and circled this Dr. Frog, and they asked him, "My dear frog, from where you are coming?" He said that I am coming from the Pacific Ocean. So all the frogs are asking, "Is the Pacific Ocean twice the size of this well?" He said, "No." They said, "Is the Pacific Ocean three times the size of this well?" "No." "Five times? 10 times?" So they were trying to comprehend. Ultimately, their bellies burst and they all died. So Prabhupada used to often give this example to quote that how the different scientists, they are trying to understand the Supreme Lord using their own tiny intelligence, like the frogs in the well. But it is impossible to know the unlimited Supreme Lord. So therefore, we have to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. And when the Supreme Lord reveals himself to us, then we can know about the unknowable, the Supreme Lord. That's what Brahmaji himself prays. Athapi te deva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugriheet evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno nachanyamekopi chiram vichinvan atapi te deva padambujadvaya. My dear Lord, let me take shelter of your two lotus feet. Prasad lesha anugrihita. Only when I receive a fraction of mercy. Prasad lesha anugrihita evai. Jananti tatvam bhagavam mahimno. Then I'll be able to know about you, my dear Lord. Na chanya ekopi chiran vichinvan. Otherwise, if I try to use my intelligence in trying to know you, my dear Lord, then it is not possible. I will be totally baffled. So, therefore, following in the footsteps of Brahmaji, we should try to take shelter by the process of bhakti yoga. Don't try to see the Lord, but try to serve in such a way that the Supreme Lord is pleased to see us. That's what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to often say. Don't try to see Lord, but try to serve in such a way that Lord is happy to see us. So therefore, that very same Supreme Lord who cannot be known, who cannot be understood, when he comes to this material world, he comes through various ways. But one of the ways in which the great Supreme Lord comes is in the form of the Archa Vigraha, the deity form of the Supreme Lord. So today, all over the world, hmm, today happens to be a very auspicious day of Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. And today in Jagannath Puri and all of the different temples in ISKCON in India and all over the world, we will be celebrating this Snan Yatra or Snan Purnima of Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. So, in brief, for the next 15-20 minutes, whatever time we have before we conclude the class, let us try to discuss something in glorification of Lord Jagannath about this beautiful festival that all of us we are celebrating today, the Snan Purnima of the Supreme Lord. This beautiful dham, Sri Jagannath Dham, is very special because this is the place where the Supreme Lord feels separation. Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri, Purushottam Kshetra Sri Jagannath Puri. The Lord who feels separation from Srimati Radharani. So it's a very special place and special form of the Lord which has appeared. So therefore we see in the Vedic calendar, in the Vedic culture, temple means there was regular festival happening in the temple. Vedic culture was all about festival. So therefore it is explained that Utsava, hmm? Sava means to destroy or to remove the distress. And therefore Utsava means the celebration which removes all the distress. So therefore in the Vedic culture we see that different kinds of festival are being celebrated, which allows people to always be in a happy mode. Therefore, no one in the Vedic culture was morose. No one in the Vedic culture was sad. Why? Because everything was centered around festival. Therefore, in the 365 days in the calendar, there was regular festivals. Practically every day, there was some or the other festival that was connected to the Lord. And every day evening, people used to come to the temple, gather, and there used to be nice katha, there used to be nice kirtan, and and eventually no festival will end without prasad. So therefore, that's how it was there. As Bhagavatam explains, Nityotsavam na tatrupur drishibhi pibantyo. When the Mathura ladies they saw Krishna, they said, Nityotsavam na tatrupur. Nityotsavam. My dear Lord, we the coward girls of Mathura, we are very much blessed. It is like a festival for our eyes that is going on. Why? Because we are able to see this beautiful form of the Lord. So therefore, Ut means remove and Sava means sorrow. Ut Sava, that which removes the sorrow. So therefore, this Snan Purnima is another festival which is meant to remove all the sorrow from our lives. So therefore, we see that in this month of Jeshta, this Snan Purnima. So, like in the English calendar, we have months like January, February, March, April, May. So, in the Vedic calendar, we have months like Chaitra, Ashad, Jeshta, Kartik, and all these names. So, as per the Vedic calendar, this is the month of Jeshta, and during this time, Snan Purnima is been held. This is also known as Deva Snan Purnima. Today also is known as the birthday of Lord Jagannath. So we know the pastime of Lord Jagannath, if we have heard before, that previously Lord Jagannath appeared as Neela Madhava in the Niladri mountain, the bluish mountain. So when this king of Orissa, King Indradumna Maharaj, when he went to see the Lord, at that time Lord Neela Madhav disappeared, and then the announcement was made that my dear Lord, my dear King Indradumna, in the first 50 years of Brahma, I was residing in this Niladri mountain in the form of Neela Madhav. Now 50 years of Brahma is over. So in the second 50 years of Brahma, I will be residing as Lord Jagannath. I would come through this wooden form. and very soon you will be able to see me in that form. So that's how Lord Jagannath before was Lord Neela Madhav. In the first 50 years of Brahma's life, after post 50 years, he comes as Lord Jagannath. And therefore, we see how Lord chose Indradumna Maharaj to become an instrument for the Supreme Lord Jagannath to appear in this world. So, Srimad Bhagavatam explains that there are 8 ways through which the Supreme Lord manifests himself. Hmm? Anyone would like to share what are the 8 ways through which the Supreme Lord manifests himself? Anyone would like to unmute themselves and share the 8 ways in which the Lord manifests himself?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, through the holy name.
Okay, through the holy name, that is one thing. Anything
Deity
else?
form. Deity.
The deity form, yeah. Anything else?
As a guru.
As the guru, yeah. And if I want to make my question more precise, within the deity, what are the 8 types in which the Supreme Lord manifests? So I have made it more clear. Within the deity, 8 ways in which the deity appears, to be more precise.
Dhatu,
Uh,
Mritika, Manas,
uh,
then wood, and
okay. Mitti you told, na? First mud you have told.
Dhatu, metal.
Metal. Then you have also
Yeah.
answered mind.
Mind, yeah. Mind, Mitti,
And third you
Mritika,
said
and then wood.
wood.
And then,
3.
yeah. And then, yeah.
There's a picture frame also, Prabhuji, right?
Picture, yes.
Picture. Correct. 4. So 4 answers. 4 are there. Wood, mud, mind, and picture. Remaining another 4. Anyone would like to try?
Stone.
Stone, 5.
Glass.
No, glass is not there in that. 3 are remaining.
Metal,
Anyone else
Prabhu.
would like to try?
Metal.
Metal. Yeah, that is 1. Anything else? 2 more remaining. So we have done with wood, stone 2, metal is 3, mud is 4, then 5 is mind. What else?
Picture.
Picture.
Picture 6. 2 more. 2 remaining.
Panchadhatu will be in the metal, right, Prabhuji?
Panchadhatu will be in the metal. Okay, so I'll answer. 7th is sand and 8th is jewels. So these 8 things we should remember. Bhagavatam explains that the 8 ways in which the deity of the Lord appears: wood, stone, metal, painting, mud, sand, jewels, and through the mind. So generally, we do liquid abhishek, like pouring milk, curd, ghee, honey. That we do for the metal deities generally. And for stone deities also we may do. But if we see the beautiful murti of Lord Jagannath, very huge. So Jagannath is in the form of wood. The deity comes as Daru Brahma in the form of wood. So therefore, if you regularly put liquid substances on top of wood, then all the painting will go away and it is also not good for the life of the wood. So generally, it is not recommended. So therefore, in the daily worship of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, what they do is they hold a mirror in front of Lord Jagannath and they keep a vessel below the mirror, and in the reflection they do snana daily. So that is known as like darpan snan, the bathing which is done to the mirror. Like in many temples also, we have this like mansik snan, wherein you try to bring the Lord idam asanam, and then mentally you bathe the Lord. Because physically, if you bathe, then that may not be very good from the long term health point of view of the deities. So, throughout the year in Jagannath Puri, they do this Darpan Snan, but only one day in a year, that is today, the beautiful lords, they are brought from inside the altar, from the Garbha Graha, in the procession which is known as Pahandi. So in the Pahandi procession, they are brought to the Snana Vedi. So if we stand outside the Simha Dwar in Jagannath Puri, then we can see this Snana Vedi and we can actually witness how this entire uh, pastime, how this entire festival is being performed. So that's how this event is being performed. And then there are this and one thing about Jagannath Puri, if we see, the amazing thing is since generations, whoever is doing whatever service, that service is being continued since generations. Like someone comes every day morning to open the lock of the temple. So that service was being done by his father, by his grandfather, by his great grandfather, and we don't know how many generations. So now the son is also doing that service of opening the main lock to enter the temple. Someone has been doing the cooking seva for generations. Someone has been doing the seva to bring the water from the well for cooking. So, like that, so many different departments of services for the Lord is there, and so many people are being doing it. So, for this Snana Purnima, there is this one special well known as Sona well or the golden well. That water of the well, water is reserved especially for Snan Purnima. Other days they bring water from a different well, but during this Snan Purnima, this water is brought by a different kind of team, takes charge for 15 days, and that is mainly this Sabara. The Sabaras are people who are who originally belong to the people who like eat pig or they hunt pig. They are from a very low caste. But initially, Jagannath or Neelamado was being worshipped by this Sabara community, by this lower class people. So that tradition is continuing for this 15 days service from Snan Purnima till the Rath Yatra. These Sabaras, their generations, they do this service. So tie, they cover their mouth so that the water should not get contaminated even by the breathing. So therefore, they tie some cloth or a mask in the mouth. They go to this golden well or the Sona well, and from there they bring around 130 pots There are these vessels made of copper and gold. And during Mangalarti time today, they bring the thing. And then there is one pujari who purifies all the water. And inside the water, there are different kinds of ingredients that are placed inside. That is the aguru, there is sandalwood, then there are different kinds of perfumes. And continuously, while this event is being performed, all the different kinds of Vedic mantras are being chanted to invoke auspiciousness while all these events are there. And then all these different pots of water is being poured on the top of the Supreme Lord. Because generally it is a very hot season. So therefore, the Lord wants to become very cool. So therefore, all this water is being poured on the top of the Supreme Lord. And there are thousands of people who are witnessing this entire event, and lot of musical instruments and kirtans, everything is being poured. And then after this episode, at that time, the Lord goes into this Leela of falling sick for 15 days. The Supreme Lord, he becomes sick. So one of our devotees from Bombay, he's a doctor. He's Dr. Alwa. So he said that one time during the Snana ceremony of Lord Jagannath, he he participated in that, and is a very influential person. So he is allowed entry into the inner circle there. So he said that he actually took the thermometer and he put in the mouth of Lord Jagannath to check whether, as we read, the temperature of the Lord's body increases. He gets fever for 15 days. And he said, actually, he saw the temperature was like high, 102 degrees Celsius on the thermometer. That how the Lord does the pastime, he does it to accuracy. Huh? Like our body becomes very hot when we fall sick. So in the same way, after Snan Purnima, because the Lord is being bathed with all the different kinds of waters and things, so he becomes sick. And for the 15 days, there are special diet that is being given to the Lord. Unlike during other times when he's been given chappan bhog, this time he's been given some like health food. We have not no spicy, no oily, all those kinds of things. And after the snan of the Lord is being done, he has to take rest for 15 days. No darshan will be allowed. So at that time, some paintings or something is kept there for the visitors to take darshan, but the main darshan of the Lord is not there. So Lord is being taken to Ratna Bandar there, and there immediately after the Snan Vesh, Snan Purnima, the Lord is wearing Gaja Vesh, known as Gaja is elephant, like Lord Ganesha having a trunk. So Jagannath and Baldevji, they are immediately dressed in Gaja Vesh. And Subhadra Mai, she is dressed in lotus flower outfit. So why this Gaja Vesh is being put immediately? So it is explained the local story, the local Jagannath Pujaris, they tell that one time there was this great scholar who came to Jagannath Puri, and he was a great devout worshipper of Lord Ganesh. So he uh, thought that this Jagannath is like Lord Ganesh. That was his understanding. Like today, also many people who come, they don't know Lord Jagannath is Krishna. Some worshipper of Ganesha thinks he's Ganesh. Some worshipper of Kartikeya thinks that he's Kartikeya. Not many go with the proper knowledge that Jagannath is actually Krishna. So this person, he thought that Jagannath is also like my favorite Lord Ganesh. So he came there, he saw the deity, and he felt morose. Oh, it is not my Ganesh. I thought it is my Supreme Lord Ganesh. So he became disappointed and he went home. So Lord Jagannath appeared in his dream and told that, please come back. And then when the person scholar came back, so Lord Jagannath gave him darshan as Lord Ganesh. That is one pastime of how this Ganesh uh, outfit of the Lord came into existence. So it is explained how today, after this Snan Purnima, one more reason is explained why. Because after the Snan, all the paintings of the Lord, everything vanishes. And in the face of the Lord, when you are used to seeing the Lord in a particular way, then if you are not able to see that, many times we also see in our ISKCON temples, when there is some change or when there is some painting different, when the eyes are painted differently, the entire looks changes, and it takes some time for us to again come to sink in that, oh, new painting has been done to the lordships, like that. So what to speak of here, after the Snan, the total painting comes out. For a mature devotee, if he sees the Lord, then he can accept. But can you imagine someone who comes to Jagannath Puri first time, someone is immature, and he happens to see the Lord totally off, different, then he may offend the Lord. So therefore, the main painting has gone away. So therefore, at that time, this Gaja Vesh is applied on top, so that no one is able to see that main face of the Supreme Lord, where all the colors have totally been removed. Otherwise, an immature devotee may feel kind of a repulsion after seeing that. So therefore, the Lord becomes sick for 15 days, and that is the time when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was unable to take darshan of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, this period for 15 days is known as Anavasara. Ana means no, and Avasara means no opportunity to take darshan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was used to taking darshan of Lord Jagannath every day, can you imagine, is not getting darshan for 15 days. So he was feeling a lot of pain. At that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go to this place known as Alarnath, where Supreme Lord Krishna is there in the four-handed form of Lord Narayan. So someone may say, Arey, for devotees of Lord Krishna who are used to worshipping the Lord, seeing Lord Sham Sundar with two hands, threefold bending form, how can they be pleased to see Lord with four hands, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma? So externally it appears that this Alarnath is the Lord having four hands. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, but this is actually Lord's form in disguise. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained that during the Ras Leela, when the gopis became proud and Lord Krishna left everyone and he disappeared. At that time, the gopis are looking out for the Lord. And at that time, Krishna disguises himself as Lord Narayan with four hands. Actually, it is Krishna, but he is in disguise. It is not the real Narayan form. And the gopis ask, have you seen where our Sham Sundar has gone? And then he points out. But when Radharani comes, That time Krishna couldn't hide the two extra fake hands which he had uh, worn, and immediately his real form is revealed. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur explained that Alarnath, the form of Lord Krishna, who is disguised during Ras Leela, that is this form of Alarnath. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go to this temple when he was feeling intense separation from Lord Jagannath. And there is one stone in which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lied down, and that stone totally melted. And the stone has all the imprints of the different form of the Lord, the hands of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the chest, the legs of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the head. So today also, if we happen to go to Alarnath, we can see that stone in which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was lying down, feeling intense pain because of unable to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. And during these 15 days, people they believe that Lord Jagannath is here in Alarnath. So throughout the year, there is not much crowd coming to Alarnath. It is around 20 kilometers away, 20-25 kilometers away from the Jagannath temple. But during this 15 days, thousands and lakhs of people come to take darshan of the Alarnath deities, knowing him that Lord Jagannath has come here for 15 days, and they come and take darshan. So for 15 days, when Lord is inside, so every day, so when the painting again begins, so every 2 days, 7 into 2, 14. So there are one systematic way the painting of the Lord is done. So there are this like kind of like 7 layers or something is been explained. So every 2 days they kind of put one layer. So that's how after 2 days one layer complete. Another 2 days one layer complete. So in 7 days the 14 in 14 days the 7 layers, the 7 types of painting something that they put. And on the last day 15 day they do kind of a final touch up like that. And then just before the Rath Yatra, there is the Netra Utsava, where Lord is going to give darshan after 15 days. Lakhs and crores of people come. It is said that one who takes darshan of the Lord during this Netra Utsava, all his sins are destroyed. Obviously, for devotees, they are not going there for their sins to get destroyed, but at least in the outside world, people who know this from the scriptures, lakhs and lakhs of people come to take darshan of the Lord. So that's how there is a great rush that comes. So therefore, this Jagannath Snan Yatra is a very special event, that the Lord is getting ready before the Rath Yatra begins. So after 15 days, we have this Rath Yatra, after the Snan Yatra, and the Lord will go from the Shriji temple to Gundicha temple. The Shriji temple, which is non-different from Dwarka, and the Gundicha temple, non-different from Vrindavan. And Rath Yatra is an event where Lord will be taken from the Hastinapur or Dwarka to Vrindavan. So therefore it is explained that this Puri Kshetra is Viraha Kshetra. Vrindavan is Madhurya Kshetra. Dwarka is Aishwarya Kshetra. And Mayapur is Audarya Kshetra. But Jagannath Puri has all of that. Why? Because in the Jagannath temple, the main temple, the Lord is decorated and fed gorgeously in that Aishwarya Bhav. So therefore, that mood of Dwarka is present there. And the Gundicha temple, that is Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is also present in Puri. Dwarka is also present in Puri. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he was present in Jagannath Puri after sannyas for 24 years. So the Audarya Bhav is also present there. So therefore in Jagannath Puri, you have all the three Kshetra. Madhurya Kshetra Vrindavan present, Dwarka Aishwarya Kshetra, and Mayapur Audarya Kshetra. All three is present there. So therefore, Jagannath Puri and Lord Jagannath and all the other beautiful festivals that happen in Jagannath Puri, mainly the Snan Purnima and the Rath Yatra being the top two festivals of the year, carry lot of importance for mainly ISKCON devotees and the whole world in general. So that is a very auspicious day that we are witnessing, and we begin the mood from today onwards. In all our temples, we begin to sing this Jagannath Ashtakam written by Shankaracharya ji. Kadachit Kalindi Tata Vipina Sangeeta Karavo. So we begin the mood so that we also pull the Lord, the festival of chariots, trying to pull the Lord into our hearts. Huh? That is what the Jagannath festival is all about. So that's how today we discussed how the Supreme Lord, who is very difficult to understand, how the Supreme Lord is present everywhere. But instead of trying to understand the Supreme Lord through our mundane intelligence, as Brahmaji also failed, if we try to engage in serving the Supreme Lord, in hearing about the Supreme Lord, then the Lord reveals himself, then it becomes very easy for us to understand. But on our own, it becomes very difficult for us to understand. So I think I have gone 10-15 minutes beyond time. I seek sincere apologies for going beyond time. So please forgive me. If there are any quick questions or comments, we can take it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thanks for the most beautiful class. You just described pastimes, and I felt like listening and listening, and it would go on. It was so beautiful.
Thank you, Monica Mataji.
So I have 3 questions, Prabhuji, for the pastimes of Jagannath ji. One is, you said these 15 days he's been given bath. So do they give the bath with water every day to the deities?
That bathing is only today.
Only today, yeah.
Today, elaborate bathing, around 130 pots of gold and copper vessels. Water is poured from that golden well, then they are poured. And after that, he falls sick for 15 days. That is the pastime he does of falling sick, and everyone is kind of giving him all the diet and everything. So there is no bathing that is done all through the year. Bathing is done only to the reflection. Every day they bring a mirror in front of the Lord, and darpan snan.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So and the 7 days you said his eyes are painted, you said 7 folds. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Painting
of
the eyes.
And the third question is, when Thakurji when Radharani comes to know that this is Lord Krishna with his 4 hands, so she immediately comes to know that this is Thakurji. And then is there a Leela after that, or it's just mentioned that she comes to know?
Yeah, before that, Ras Leela is always continuing, na?
Right.
That the eternal song of dance that is going on always in the spiritual world.
Right. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. It was just like, I just felt like listening on and on. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Thank you so much for this nectarine class. Please don't say apologize or sorry, because we were just hearing you the pastime, beautiful pastime of Lord Jagannath, and we emerged in that.
I thought I went over time. I forgot the
That's
track.
fine, Prabhuji. That's totally okay.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, you didn't go overtime and you don't have to apologize. We would never be able to hear such a beautiful
Yeah. It was our fortune that we could hear this very nice pastime of Lord Jagannath from you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I completely agree and echo with Monica Mataji and Shamrasika Mataji. Such sweet, sweet pastimes of Lord Jagannath. Thank you for, sharing those with us. I was
Thank you.
reflecting and thinking that Lord Krishna and Jagannath pastimes are so sweet,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
they make you realize that they make you appreciate the power that they have, the grandeur that they have, but also they're so sweet, just like a small child. So, thank you,
True.
Prabhu. I just had one question. This is pertaining to the earlier part of your lecture. When you were talking about the lady wanting to be the mother of the king.
Mhm.
I was reflecting, Prabhu, what would you advise someone? How should the mode of prayer be? How should you pray meditatively? Because when you stand in front of the DT, sometimes it's just hard because we don't have that. Uh, because I can speak for myself. I have such limited fund of knowledge, right? And I am worried about just tomorrow. I'm not worried about the future. So, how should I train my mind to pray in a way that is beneficial for me, just not for this lifetime, but you know, for every, just for the. Are you understanding my question, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Yeah. So when we speak about prayers, it is explained that we can always repeat the prayers which are offered by the pure devotees of the Lord. So we see the Srimad Bhagavatam, so many prayers. Bhagavatam is nothing but so many prayers throughout. Prayers of Queen Kunti, prayers of Bhishma Dev, like that, prayers by Brahmaji. So many prayers are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If we can't offer any prayers from our side, we can always repeat the prayers offered by pure devotees. Like Queen Kunti tells, Twai me ananya vishaya mati madupate sakrit rati udvahatam adda gange vaugam udanvati. My dear Lord, let my mind constantly flow towards you like Mother Ganges. When Mother Ganges flows in her way, so many obstacles come, but she never stops even for a moment. She somehow or the other finds her way till the time she reaches the ocean, her final goal. So, my dear Lord, in the same way, let my mind always flow towards you. So, this is like one kind of a prayer which we learn from Mother Kunti. My dear Lord, let me always keep me engaged in practicing your devotional service. Let me constantly become attracted to you. That is one kind of a prayer. Or else, we can always express gratitude. The very fact that all of us, we have been given this human form of life, this body, and this body is fit and fine. So many people, when we go outside, we see people having deformed body. But how many times we have be expressed our gratitude to the Supreme Lord, my Lord, thank you for giving me this body by which I have two eyes with which I can see you nicely. I have two ears to hear you. Can we imagine? People who don't have eyes to see, people don't have proper ears to hear, or their noses. During Corona times, my God, few of our brahmacharis, they got this Corona disease and they were unable to smell. Can you imagine what a feeling it is when you cannot smell, losing your smelling this thing? For 2-3 days, they were like, they are going crazy. My God. So many times when we get things, we tendency is to take things for granted. So, my Lord, thank you. So, always, every day, if we just think, there are so many incidents that will happen throughout the day if we are conscious, for which we can thank the Lord, at least towards the end of the day. Ideally, it would be very good if we can, there is this journaling, journal writing. Many devotees advocate that while sleeping for 5 minutes, what are the things that happened for which we can thank the Lord? So many times when we are not conscious, many wonderful things happen, but then we forget to take a note of it and we fail to express gratitude. So, therefore, the least thing we can do is come in front of the Lord and tell Him, thank you. Thank you for giving me this rare human form of life. Thank you for giving me a fit body. Thank you for giving me connection into this beautiful family of Srila Prabhupada, where I am getting to hear Srimad Bhagvatam, where I am getting to chant the holy names, where I am getting to see darshan of your beautiful form. Hmm? So, like that, so many things we can come in front of the Lord and offer prayers. The list can go on and on and on. So, every day we have to express our gratitude. That will be actually, that will help us to connect with the Lord more deeply. For that, we have to first be aware, conscious. Hmm? Generally, we are so much absorbed that we forget to observe. When we are absorbed, we can't be an observer. So sometimes we need to be an observer and see the wonderful miracles that Lord is doing in our lives. Otherwise, the tendency of the mind is to always compare, complain, and criticize. There is the three C's of the mind, the three cancers of the mind: compare, complain, and criticize. We forget, we don't see what we have received, but we tend to keep comparing ourselves with others, and the mind always makes us miserable. Compare, complain, criticize.
Thank you so
So
much,
if you
Prabhuji.
hmm,
Yeah, because I was thinking, we always go with our list of what we want.
yeah,
So, but as aspiring devotees, uh, sometimes I just fumble because I don't know what is really needed for my devotional life, to strengthen my devotional life. So, it's very important to know how to pray meditatively, because that is He's always
yes,
listening to us.
yes, 100%. He loves you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Padmini Radha Mataji, for your wonderful question. Anyone
Hare Krishna
else
Prabhuji,
like
Danda
to
Pranam,
share,
Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you
share
for the wonderful class,
questions or
Prabhuji.
comments? Thank you,
Prabhuji,
Vamsi Vilas Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have a question regarding um, the Jagannath Puri Leela you were talking about. You mentioned
Yeah.
Neela Gopal in the Sheshadri Hill, and then 50 years of Brahma, he comes to Jagannath Puri. Prabhuji, Indrayumna Maharaj was in Satya Yuga, right? He later came as Gajendra, and then we know that.
Your voice is going in between, Prabhuji. Yeah, I'm able to hear your voice for some time. Again, it's low. Again, it's high. Again, it's low. Consistency is
Oh,
not
okay,
there.
Prabhuji.
The volume.
So, Gajendra, Indrayumna Maharaj, who constructed the Jagannath Puri temple, is actually reborn as Gajendra, right, Prabhuji? And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, and that Indrayumna Maharaj was in Satya Yuga, and we know the 4 yugas, and then we are now in Kali Yuga, and we are in the same kalpa. This is just one day of Brahma, and we know that this is so my question is, the 50 years, did it happen during this 4 Chatur Yugas itself, Prabhuji? Because I'm
Yeah, actually, it is very difficult, Prabhuji, because many times, we only don't know when we calculate that that is known as kalpa bhed. How long, especially when to calculate the time, it becomes very difficult. Whether it was possible that this time only or before the time, very difficult to calculate from that perspective.
Got it. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, anything else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my Dhanat Pranam to you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Dandavad,
Raj ki jai.
Rupini Padma Mataji. Yes.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. So,
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask you one question, can you come online, yeah? Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, you mentioned such a wonderful, Leela about Lord Jagannath. So, you also mentioned one line about Gundicha margin. So I'm just, I had heard about it sometime back, but the cleaning of temple by Lord Chaitanya happens all over. So
Yeah.
could you briefly tell what is the significance, why that is happening, and how is it connected? Why Lord Jagannath is cleaning the telling everyone to clean the temples, and he himself is involved. Just that part I want to clarify.
Yeah, that's a whole one class in itself.
Yeah, just a little bit I wanted to know, because it's coming up, and
yeah,
a little bit aware. And I used to hear so many classes, but in the Kali Yuga, memories are so they you just tend to become blank and you forget. But maybe
during Gundicha Marjan Day, we should discuss that pastime of the cleansing of Gundicha after 14 days.
Okay, yeah, we can do that also.
The full pastime, the beautiful lessons are there. But in principle, Lord is showing by his own example that how enthusiastic we should be to cleanse our hearts. Therefore, he did that pastime. Gundicha Marjan is nothing. How enthusiastic we should be to cleanse our own hearts.
Okay, nice, very nice.
Therefore, he did Gundicha Marjan. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Gundicha Marjanam. Same.
Nice.
That is in one night.
So
Otherwise, it's a 1 hour class.
Yeah. Like, for example, when this thing went by recently, such a short-lived memory, where, the punishment festival of Raghunath Das, what I was thinking is that
Chida Dahi.
Chida Dahi festival.
Chida Dahi Mahotsav.
Chida Dahi Mahotsav.
Monday.
So what I was thinking is that this festival is basically that Raghunath Das is paying obeisance from far away, not coming close by. But later on, when I heard a class in the temple, I came to know that actually it is a punishment festival, that's for sure. But the main tattva of the festival is that we cannot go to Lord Chaitanya directly. We go through Lord Nityananda, right? And I had thought that completely, I was in ignorance, thinking that this is because he was paying obeisance from very far away, and Lord Nityananda saw that, and he wanted, why you away from the devotees? You come and join the devotees, So, so like sometimes we, our minds start imagining and thinking of something, but then when we go to the temple, we hear the class, then it gets clarification. Oh, okay. So we have to go through serving the devotees and then approach Lord Chaitanya through that way. Right? Yeah. Also, Prabhuji, one more question. You said the 8 forms are there, in which metal, stone, wood, sand. Now, in all the forms, I can understand because I can see a concrete form.
Yeah.
It's visible to my eye, metal. But one thing, the mind, which you said is one of them, that is a little bit hard for me to understand, that the 8th form is the mind form. And this me of one story of recently I heard from Dhruv Maharaj story. I was hearing one class from Srila Prabhupada, or maybe someone else. In that, what happened is, I think his Guru Naradji told him that you go, two instructions he gave him, his Guru Maharaj, that go and like manifest a deity from the mud, and then do the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, right? So
Correct.
what was that?
Yeah.
What was that deity he manufactured in the jungle, where there's nothing there except for mud and tree and animal? So I'm just giving this example
Yeah.
to know
The
that.
mud and sand also.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji. Mud and sand. So that's how he
Through
did,
mud
right?
also. Yeah. Yeah. Like Guru Maharaj shares this pastime when he was in Vrindavan, when he came from America. That time he met this saint known as Ghanshyam Das Babaji Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj was sharing in 2004 we had gone to Vrindavan. So in one temple, Radha Gopijan Vallabh temple, he had taken all of us, and there Maharaj was explaining about Ghanshyam Das Babaji Maharaj. When Ghanshyam Das Babaji Maharaj was like 15 years or old, that time he came with the family. And then when Maharaj met him in 1970s, that time this Ghanshyam Das Babaji Maharaj was 80 years or so, very old. So this beautiful deities of Gopijan Vallabh, how it came about? So every day in the sand, Ghanshyam Das Babaji Maharaj used to write Radha, Krishna, and then he used to offer his daily worship and prayers. And after the end of the day, he used to wipe with his hands. That was his daily prayer. And one day, when he was just rubbing off the letters which he had written, so he felt that there is something below. And from the place where he had written Radha, every day he used to do there, the deities, metal deities appeared from there. And where he had written Krishna, from there, the Krishna deities appeared. And then he was thinking, what should the name? What is your name? He asked. And both the deities, they just fell down. And the names were written on the leg. Radha, Gopijan, Vallabh.
Amazing. Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the worship which he performed for many years in the sand. It could be just writing of the syllables. That also.
Yeah. So like my question, just this is like I brought in
And
Dhruv.
there is,
Yeah.
and regarding your mind also, you asked question.
Yes.
In the mind, it is difficult. So in the Nectar of Devotion, there is the story which comes about this Brahman from Prag Jyotishtpur or some place, Prag Jyotishtpur. So where he worships the deity, then he prepares the sweet rice, and he wants to check, everything is going on in the mind, and he wants to check whether it is too hot, and he tries to put the finger, and actually his finger burns in the real form. His worship is going on in the mind. He tried to put the finger in the mind, and his real fingers burnt.
So that
So
means
the worship in the mind has that power.
power. Like it's like I mean, so much I can imagine that this person must be engrossed, and then he
Yeah,
doesn't want to serve the deities hot. So
yeah, yeah,
wow. So this story will pertain to like the mind, because in the
yeah.
mind we cannot really, like all the other three elements we can actually see, we can visualize, but mind
True.
aspect is like is it like some deity coming, visualizing some deity in the mind and then worshipping, which is not like in a subtle way, right? It's a subtle way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just
like
our
sometimes
Ishtadev, whichever deity we are attracted to, like that.
yeah. Like we have Lord Shisha Nitai Gonatraj in our temple. So sometimes
Yeah,
for some a week or two I'm not able to visit. So what happens is I just sit and visualize their the beautiful face. It's just in the
yeah.
mind. I get engrossed and then I try to chant alongside. So that is
Wonderful.
also like that is kind of the one in the mind, because
Yeah,
we've already seen the deities and now we just thinking in our
Correct.
engrossing
True.
ourselves. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and I wish
Yeah, true.
Jagannath Snan Yatra is. I think it happened on Tuesday, right? There in India.
Now, today we are celebrating.
Oh, today you're celebrating. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday,
Okay.
India.
Yeah, somehow in our calendar it's showing Tuesday. Sometimes some festivals come earlier here, and but it's nice to hear about it. Otherwise, if you wouldn't have mentioned, we would have not heard about it only. And I really like that point where is this analogy good? Like what I'm saying is that when you say that the Snan Yatra is given, the mirror is shown, and that the water is poured over it, not on the body because the paint will come out. Now, even
Yeah,
when they do DT Seva, what they do is when the DTs are dressed up, they take a mirror and show to the DTs. So the
yeah,
relevance of that is that the DTs, are non-different from Krishna, and they can actually see themselves in the mirror. That's why the pujari
yeah,
is showing, right?
yeah. We
Yeah,
also show morning every day
every day. Okay.
during Shringar. Yeah, today morning only I showed after the
Oh,
dressing.
okay. Very nice, very
Today
nice.
Shringar we show na during Govinda Madi Purusham.
Yeah. But then one question comes is that Krishna, the deities are not able to see themselves, but the devotees are, in the form of Pujari Seva, are showing to the deities, right? They're
Yeah,
deities that see
they
this
are
is how we.
accepting our service. They
Ah,
are all competent to see themselves,
yeah.
but they are accepting our humble offering of
Hmm.
we trying to dress them. Who are we trying to dress them?
Hmm.
Is it that the dress and the jewelries we put makes the Lord beautiful? No, the Lord is always beautiful. It is said that when the jewelries come in on the Lord, the jewelries become more beautiful. In this world, we wear jewelry so that we become beautiful. When the Lord wears jewelry, the jewelry becomes beautiful. The other way around.
Yes, reminding me of the Damodar Katha where Krishna was wearing this jewelry and it was glittering. So actually, Krishna
Yeah,
is glittering that the jewelry is
correct,
glittering.
correct.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You took us to so many pastimes, and I feel you have so much knowledge about Jagannath Puri and Lord Jagannath that maybe in the future, if we can ask Shamarasika Mataji to arrange a class where like today you told us about that Jagannath ji falling sick and then the 15 days.
yeah,
Then after
yeah.
that, if you can continue in your future classes till
Hmm.
Rath Yatra, what is the relevance of Rath Yatra? Something about separation, and then Gundi March. If you can add to your classes, that's my humble request, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Hare
You
Krishna.
have been to Jagannath Puri? You have been?
No, Prabhuji, I've never been to Jagannath Puri till now. I've only been to Vrindavan whenever I've gone because I go to Delhi, but I do have plans to go there definitely. I've never.
Yeah, it will be wonderful to see
I've
all this.
I've not been to Mayapur or Jagannath Puri. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yes.
maybe sometime during the visit, we
Yes.
should plan.
Yes. Definitely. And I will get in touch with you, Prabhuji. Are you in Jagannath Puri?
No, I am in Govardhan Eco Village.
Okay. But then still, if there is someone who can
We
guide us.
keep visiting. Yeah,
Yeah.
couple of. I'll be visiting like in after 10 days. I'll be visiting during Rath Yatra.
Yes,
Regularly we visit.
nice. And I was seeing on the Facebook in the morning today, there is so much of crowd there. There are so many
Yeah,
people. That is actually happening in real.
yeah. Of course,
Yeah. Wow, it's amazing.
lakhs of people.
Yeah. And this,
Today, lot
yeah,
of crowd.
lot of crowd. Yeah,
Rath
very nice.
Yatra also same thing.
Yeah. I know this is like a treat to our eyes, like you said in your class, that every day is almost like a festival. But
True.
somehow, India is like a dham, and when we see this even on the Facebook and other this thing, it is so encouraging for us here. And actually, want
Yes.
right away come and fly and come there. But
Yeah.
we are so conditioned living beings. But hopefully, yes, with your blessings, we can see Jagannath Puri and Mayapur also
How
in the.
often you visit India? How often you?
I come once a year, Prabhuji, but my conditioning is such that I have a mother who's 80-year-old, and then I have
Uh,
one daughter who's a special need. She has autism. So
mm,
my restrictions are going to Vrindavan only. I visit my friend there also. She also has a
mm.
daughter who has autism. So I go there only. But I do want little support from other family members. Then I can come to Jagannath Puri also, and because I travel alone with we all three Matajis, so that's why
Okay.
some Prabhuji has to be there for us, take us to Jagannath Puri or other places. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, but I'm going to definitely pray, and hopefully the
Yeah.
devotee
Yeah.
Krishna will find some
We can
arrangement.
plan. We can plan.
Thank
Yes.
you, Prabhuji. Thank you for taking your time. I'm sure others have question, and thank you for association.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you so much for this wonderful class as
Thank
always.
you, Geeta Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah. And Prabhuji, I wanted to ask you about changing of the flag on top of the temple. What is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
significance of that?
Yeah. That is like the flag. It's like every country has a flag. It's like, the symbol of the country. The country is represented by the flag.
Right.
So if someone tries to disrespect the flag, it is like a big violence is created. So it's like non-different. The country is represented by the flag. So in the same way, the temple of Lord Jagannath also, it is represented by the flag. And
But why do they
also it
change it
is
every day, Prabhuji?
not every day. In a day also 4 or 5 times it is changed.
Oh, okay.
Not every day. In a day, 5 or 6 times it is changed. And there is a long list of people waiting to sponsor for changing that. For 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you don't get an opportunity. Like
Wow.
recently in Dwarka, one of my friend wanted to do that flag changing. He wanted to contribute. So it is like some 1 or 2 lakhs was the amount for that contribution, and they said for the next 3 years it is full, you cannot get.
Wow.
And my friend was desperate that, during our anniversary we want to sponsor, but fortunately some cancellation came in between. So they called after 2 months that, Mataji, you wanted to do the sponsor on this day. Fortunately, that person cancelled due to some reason which he had booked 1 year back or something. So you all can do that. So immediately she called me, Prabhuji, we have to fly to Dwarka because I got that turn after 2 days. So immediately all 4 or 5 of us we flew to Dwarka and we participated in that flag changing ceremony. I also witnessed for the first time, but it was a
Oh,
wonderful experience.
so you're
Yeah,
talking about Dwarka, Prabhuji, or
I
Jagannath?
am talking about Dwarka.
Oh, but in Puri,
Dwarka.
I
When
think
they
in
change,
Puri it is happening only once a day, right?
okay, I will have to check, but at least in Dwarka, 5 or 6 times they change.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big event altogether.
Hmm.
Puri, I'll just find out how many times it is changed.
Yeah. And so, Prabhuji, the reason the Lord gets fever is for what? I'm sorry if did you is there any particular significance?
Uh, it's like different, like it's also one kind of a Leela pastime.
Yeah,
This is different Leelas Lord performs. This is also one kind of a Leela wherein he goes to seclusion.
I see.
Hmm.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so
Dandat
much
Pranam.
for this excellent class and Dandavat Pranam. And so much sweet stories of Lord Jagannath. We just live
Hmm.
that, and we are just feeling to go to Jagannath Puri again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whenever you come,
yeah.
you
So,
go.
if nobody has any question or comment, we can end up the call here. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय
Jai,
श्रीलता
Jai,
Jai,
साथ की जय
Jai,
Jai,
की जय इस बेस हरि गोपाल प्रभु की जय
Jai,
थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा
Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
हरि बोल
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
for nice question Monica Mataji Gita Mataji
Thank you, Prabhuji.